Alright, it is April 26, 2020. This is my 2006 Toyota Tacoma. It is four-wheel drive, TRD off-road, so it has the rear locking differential, SR5, so it's got all the fancy stuff. It's the 4-liter V6, and it has a 6-speed manual transmission. To make this video short and sweet, also has a tow package, short and sweet, since, YouTube only gives you so much time in a video. Sliding rear window, tow package, V6, SR5, all that good stuff. I've had it for about 2 months now. I love the thing. Quick and dirty. One bad thing about it, it gets horrible fuel economy. With the 4-liter V6 and the 6-speed manual transmission, I get about 15 miles per gallon, and I drive mixed city and highway. And I drive real easy. I baby the thing so hard. It's on factory tires. Everything's factory on it, nothing's modified, and I still get about 15, 16 miles a gallon. I'm sure if you're on the highway unloaded with just you in it, you might see 18, maybe 18, but it's one of those things where it's good though, because it has the right gearing. It keeps you up. You're going 70 miles an hour, you're going to be turning about 2,500 RPM flat. That's perfect for towing, perfect for power. That leads into the first positive. The 4-liter V6 has great power. I went from a 2014 Ram 1500 with the 5.7 Hemi and 8-speed automatic transmission. This has nowhere near that power, but I told myself, if I'm going to get, a smaller truck, then I don't think I can go to the 4-cylinder. That'd be tough, going from basically a small block Mopar Hemi to a 4-cylinder. So I decided to go with the 4-liter V6. I am not disappointed in the slightest. That combined with the 6-speed manual transmission, it's an awesome thing to drive. It's a blast. It's got great power. I tow a 4-wheeler with it regularly, probably once or twice, or once a week, definitely. And it tows it fine. It's great. Leading to the next bad thing though, the bed. I have a double cab. The bed is only 5 feet. It is tiny. If you want to put a toolbox in here, even if you get a slim, maybe a 1-footer, you're not going to have much of a bed whatsoever. That's one downside to a smaller truck. Plus, it's a lot thinner. It's a lot thinner than your half-size trucks or mid-size or whatever you want to call them. That's, but a positive to that is, as you can see, it fits perfectly in parking spaces. It's a small truck. It's very easy to drive. You can sit anybody in it and they will be able to drive it. It drives a lot more like a car than a truck. Take that with what you will. I think that that's a good thing. That's part of the reason why I bought it. My 14 Ram was huge. This is a lot smaller. I drive in the city a lot. Therefore, this is kind of more of what I wanted. Now, that being said, looking on the inside of it, it kind of leads into a thing that people are kind of controversial. My buddy is 6 foot. He fits perfect in this thing. He has plenty of headroom in this. I'm 5'10", and I fit perfectly in it. I'm 200 pounds, and this truck literally fits me perfect. It's got tons of room, way more room than my Ram did, and my Ram was a half-ton, but my Ram was the quad cab, so it had the smaller rear doors. But as you can see, this is all the way put back, and there's still, a decent bit, but then my seat is kind of regular, and you have plenty of room back here. The seats are incredibly comfortable. The inside, well, let's go ahead and look. So the inside is awesome. You have storage behind the seats, and then you have a storage underneath the seats, which is great. Now, another good thing about these trucks in general, this is the TRD off-road, so it has the rear locking differential. That is amazing. I do go off-road. I've never actually had to use the locker, but it is there if you need it. That's a great thing about the TRD off-road. I recommend it to anybody. They're harder to find, especially in a stick, but I think it's worth it personally. Now, another problem with these, just Toyotas in general, whether it's a Camry, Avalon, RAV4, Tacoma, Tundra, whatever you want to do, they're expensive. These trucks, cars, whatever, Toyotas in general are not cheap. The entry cost to them is much, much higher. But, everybody knows that Toyota is very reliable. I've only had it 2 months and about put, less than 2,000 miles on it. It hasn't given me any problem whatsoever. It runs great. It's awesome. So that's just something that, you're going to pay a little bit more in the beginning, but, you're going to have a lot more likelihood of it not breaking down on you and, leaving you somewhere that you don't want to be at a time you don't want to be there. So that's up to you to decide, is it worth it? Do I have that money to spend? It's up to you. I got T-boned pretty bad. They paid me out for my Ram, and I downsized, and I got this because it's more of what I needed at this time. I am currently 22 years old. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I tow a four-wheeler on a regular basis. I love driving stick. I wanted something four-wheel drive because I do off-road a decent bit. All my buddies have Jeeps and all that kind of FJ Cruisers, stuff like that. And this is just perfect what I wanted. I wanted something smaller. Now, another good thing that I like about these Tacomas in general, the lights. The lights are very, very bright and they're projected perfectly. I really like that because my Ram had the crappiest headlights I think I've ever had, and these are awesome. The fog lights are just as good. Now, another nice thing about these trucks is you can get OEM parts for them, which OEM quality parts are really good. I've only used OEM stuff, so spark plug, air filter, cabin air filter, oil filter, all that stuff is all OEM Toyota, which is great, and it's not really that expensive. So be that what it will. One thing you got to worry about on these trucks, which is a downside, is the rust. Rust is very prevalent in these trucks. Some of them were recalled to get new frames, whatever. Do you really want to get one of those? Probably not. This one came from South Carolina. I live in North Carolina, so it hadn't really seen much of any rust or salt or anything like that whatsoever. So I don't really have to worry about that, but that's something, just get underneath the truck, crawl underneath it and see what's going on down there. Generally use your best judgment. If it looks bad, it probably is. So just keep that in mind. One thing I do like about this truck, a lot of trucks in general, if they have factory wheels and tires, I drive very carefully, but it's very easy to curb a wheel, especially if you drive around the city a lot, you parallel park, etc. These are 16-inch wheels, which is why I like the TRD off-road. Smaller wheel, more sidewall, which is just my type. That's my MO. So you're not going to have to worry about curbing a wheel, making it look bad or anything like that. Unfortunately, these are already messed up. The paint's peeling and all that stuff, which sucks. I want to get new ones, like off Craigslist or something. But either way, you're not going to curb these wheels or mess them up real bad unless you off-road heavy or anything like that. So that's another plus to just having smaller wheels and more sidewall. What else, man? Just something that you're going to have to think about. This is a 06. It's pretty old. It's 2020. It's dated on the inside. But, it's going to have your 6 CD changer. Who uses CDs? Absolutely nobody. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, I have the little cheater Bluetooth setup to where it'll broadcast to the FM radio. So I kind of bypass that whole setup, which is nice. But that's just something to think about. It has two 12 volts, which is real nice to have. One charger and then one for the FM transmitter thing. Good cup holders, good size. You got the storage in the middle, which is real good. We're in quarantine right now. I've got my tax returns and mask and stuff in there, but everything's good. I'm trying to think of any other negatives about it. Good power. The transmission's great. Engine's great. The four-wheel drive capability is amazing. It's awesome. I haven't got it stuck. Then again, I haven't really taken it real hardcore like I would like to, but it does real well. What else? I think that's about it. I think, if you're buying this car, say you're a young man like me and you're looking for a first, truck, you're trying to get into trucks, I think this is a good setup. I recommend getting the 4-liter V6, getting the 6-speed, and getting the, a 4-wheel drive model. That's just my MO. But you got to ask yourself, these trucks are, there's one for everybody. There's a million different options that you can get. You want a V8 engine, you want gas mileage, you want automatic, manual transmission, mid-side, quarter-ton, half-ton, three-quarter-ton, dually, semi, you know what I mean? You have a million different options and packages and all that stuff. So really sit down and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I need? And what do I want? These two different things, and I think you really should consider that, because trucks are an amazing purchase. I think everybody should have one, at least in North America. But just have that in mind. It's something. Are you going to want a family? Do you only carry around, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever? Do you really need 4 doors, or would you rather have a longer bed? Do you need 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive? Do I want a big engine, small engine, fuel economy, mid-size, whatever? Just have that in mind when you're shopping for one. I paid $12,800 for this, and it has 140,000 miles. Is that a lot of money? Yes. Is that the most money I've ever paid for an automobile? Yes. But so far, I'm loving it, and I really can't complain. It's what I had, and I think that it was a good purchase so far. So let me know what you all think. I'm sorry it's probably real windy in this video. I apologize, but this is the best I could do right now. I wanted to get a video out to you all. So, yeah, just let me know if you want to know anything about it or you have any questions or whatever. And, I look forward to growing this channel and talking with you all. All right, cool.